Subscribe if you like. Hit the like if you like me. It is 12:35 a.m. I got my little decaf. I have no business drinking this, but I'm doing it on purpose. A lot of work to do. I had to go on my website and change all my prices. They were way too high. I decided not to do international shipping because it's just very, very expensive. And since I condensed all of my sales to the United States, it's made me be able to lower my prices significantly. And I feel like this is a good move. This is why I'm so glad I did a soft launch like 6 weeks before I introduced my site to you all. It's a lot of work. So I stayed up all night last night changing my prices, and then I made them too low because first they were too high, then they were too low, then I had to change them. So yeah, now they're perfect. They're perfect. I make less money on each item, but I want people to have these items. I really enjoy them. There's a couple that I think I might even take them off because I'm not really. I don't know. I was trying to appeal to a wider audience, and I don't feel like I thought that I should have only items that I would wear on there. But then it was like maybe I should make shirts also. Well, not just shirts, but other items. Well, I'm talking about specifically shirts. Maybe I should have shirts on there for other people that are totally the opposite of me. So I don't know. It's hard being the only person that makes decisions. Because it's not that I'm second guessing myself. It's just that I'm trying to have a more well-rounded idea of what more people would want. You can't please everyone, but you can extend the pool of people that connect with the things that you are selling. You know? So I think I'm going to leave everything the way it is for now and just keep improving my designs with each new item. It's hard not to doubt myself because sometimes I look at my stuff and I really like it, and then sometimes I don't. So I forget that I'm bipolar. Now I remember. How y'all doing today? How was your week? How are your kids? Have you ever heard of mango butter? I just heard of that. I think that I'm going to introduce that as well as cocoa butter into my shea butter coconut oil conditioner body whip situation I got going on that I make, because I feel like I can make it better than what it is right now. Right now, it's good, but I can make it great. So I want to add the cocoa butter, the raw cocoa butter, and I want to add the mango butter. But I don't feel like I should do it both at one time. I'm going to do the cocoa butter first, and then I'm going to do the mango butter separately because I want to compare the absorption. I want to increase the absorption of my product. I feel like adding the mango will make it more supple. Ooh, there go my golden raisins I ordered from Amazon because I want to make a bread pudding. My Pisces, the one that has his own at-home bakery, which has been going very well, by the way. He promotes every morning on Facebook for local social whatever. He's connected to these groups or whatever that talk about what goes on locally. So he's like, oh yeah, today I'm doing donuts or today I'm doing muffins, and then people order and he delivers them, and it's so freaking cool. I'm so proud of him. So he made a bunch of sourdough because he had this sourdough starter, and it's so cool because they have names and stuff like that. So now it's sourdough everything. Pancake sourdough, pizza crust, sourdough, everything. You need to start selling the sourdough. Actually, he wants to start doing that, but we need to find out, the containers and how you're going to charge and you want to give it away, whatever. So yesterday he made it was like 3 days ago, he made 7 loaves of sourdough. So he's been giving some out to, like I said, the recovery center that I used to go to, and he's been basically feeding the poor. Great. Fine, whatever. And then he tried to say we can't feed the birds bread anymore. We looked it up and it said that you're not supposed to feed birds bread because it doesn't give them the nutrients that they need to stay healthy, but it fills them up and prevents them from looking for food that's more fulfilling. And my argument is these are ghetto birds. These are birds that are literally starving. They live outside, they pecking this, pecking that. I mean, it's better than throwing the bread away. So I've been sneak feeding it, but I know he caught me, but it's fine. When I can afford bird seed, they will get it. Until then, they won't get this bread. Anyway, moving forward. Oh, we have started giving the squirrels apples though, and they freaking love it. They sit up there, eat it with their little hands. It's so cute. And so I'm gonna use his sourdough to make bread pudding, but it has to be stale. So I've been waiting for it to get stale. And I ordered the raisins for that. So I hope it turns out well. And we still have to try to make our vegan cheese. Spicy Mustache had this recipe for vegan cheese, and it just has soy milk and tapioca starch. And it's been so hard for me to source tapioca starch, mostly because I use Instacart and I feel like the shoppers couldn't find it. This is why it's so much better to pick up your Instacart delivery when you can, because the people that shop for your Instacart delivery when you go to pick it up are people who actually work there, so they know where everything is. But if you order it for delivery, those are just regular people. And when you're trying to get like specialty items, they don't know where they are. And they're going to tell you that they're sold out of it. Because I used to do that when I worked for Instacart. When I ran out of time and I couldn't find anybody to help me. It was 6 o'clock in the morning. Everybody was doing stocking and I couldn't find something. And I'm like 30 minutes in. Yeah, baby, I'm about to tell you that they don't have it. I'm sorry. I've done that 3 times. You shouldn't do that. You really shouldn't do that. But I did it. And it gets done to me on a regular. So yeah, it was a good day. I started out with therapy. I was talking to her about something I had learned about attunement because I was trying to figure out why I was internalizing my kids' fears, like one kid specifically. And I was so looking forward to talking to her about that, but I had already figured it out before I met with her. But either way, I still talked to her about it and it was pretty cool. I like getting new verbiage, which, oh, okay. So I had to talk to my lawyer today about disability because I got in the mail that I got denied for disability, but they usually do that the first time around. Like my lawyer doesn't even take cases that they can't win. So we already knew that they were going to do that. But a big reason of why they denied me was because they didn't get all of my paperwork. So I had to do a bunch of calling around to my doctor's office, like, hey, blah blah blah. They didn't get the paperwork, and can you help me with that? And they really did help me. And come to find out, they don't even really handle that. They called to get the records, and then the records get sent to some other place, and then that place sends the records to whoever requested them. I don't know why there's so many middlemen, and that's why there's so many issues. Like, you guys should have just sent it to whoever requested it, which was Social Security. How do you have a government agency request paperwork from you and you just like don't send it? So they sent it to the people who are the middleman for sending it out to whoever requested it, and they didn't do that. So I didn't end up remedying the issue, but talking to my lawyer, well, it's the person under the lawyer. What's that? The paralegal? She's really, really cool. She gave me some verbiage today. She was like, you need to call them and ask them if they are willing to resend the paperwork. And I just thought that that was really cool because when she first said it, first I got defensive because I'm like, and I even said this, and she kind of low key chopped me, but she did it in such a gracious way. Because I'm like, well, I don't know if I want to say willing because then it kind of sets it up like they have a choice when really, why would they keep the records there? They're supposed to go ahead and send it. And she's like, well, we're just going to calmly and strategically ask these people. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're right. I'm being a little bit too aggressive, but I'm glad that she gave me that word willing. And I feel like I'm going to use it more in life. It's just been like reverberating in my brain since I heard her say it. It just, sometimes in life, how my intuition manifests is things will highlight. There'll be a bright light around things that are vitally important to my growth and my elevation. And it's like the more I listen to my intuition, the stronger it gets. And it's crazy because everything that's wrong with me on paper, mentally, are an entire list of all my spiritual gifts. So this whole thing's ridiculous and backwards, but I'm playing the game just because there's money involved. But, you know, I'm not stressing the situation. It's just crazy how nobody is doing their job, and you just always got to stay up on top of your paperwork and make sure that everything is everything, because it's usually not. But good day. I showed up. Haven't made my chocolate cake yet. I'm supposed to be doing it today. The boy is in there. He's got 2 orders. So he's going to be baking all morning. So I don't even know if I'm going to get into the kitchen. So it wasn't even so much that I wasn't trying to bake. It's just that I can't get into the kitchen. But that's a good thing. Shoot, those are good problems to have. But I'm still working on designs and putting new products into the store. And that's going to be a constant thing. I'm just going to keep growing it and keep growing it and keep growing it because there's no limit to how many items I can put in that store. So we're just going to keep doing that. And then after my store officially drops, which in my time, it still hasn't because it was supposed to drop March 20th and I had to push it because of the Mercury retrograde. So it's in my time, it is January, March 27th. So my store doesn't officially drop until April 8th. After that happens, that's when I'm going to finish up my book of recipes and intuitive cooking information. I'm just so looking forward to it because it's not a cookbook. It's so much more than that. It's not going to be like any cookbook you've ever read before because it's not just about measurements. It's about trusting yourself and letting the food speak to you and tell you how to prepare it and trusting yourself through that process and honoring food and trusting your instincts when it comes and just being adventurous, trying new things and throwing things together and purposeful. You like using purposeful herbs and spices, you know, because that's medicine. Good food is good medicine. All those plants are here to heal us. So it's important that we learn about them. So that's the next phase because I think about it all day long because I cook all of our meals from scratch. So I'm having to pay attention to how much I'm using of what because I know that I'm gonna have to break everything down into a recipe, which is challenging because I eyeball a lot of stuff. My recipes are more about technique and ingredients than it is about measurements, except for when it comes to baking. I don't eyeball much when I bake. I definitely don't eyeball when I bake. Definitely not. Those are specific measurements. So therapy, yeah, I didn't do what else. What did I cook today? I made Brussels sprouts and yuca fries because I still had some cilantro spinach, some creamy spinach cilantro dip that I made and had garlic in it for the yuca fries, and it was so good. And now it's about 12:48. And I'm probably gonna work for like another hour, and then tomorrow my raisins get here. I've got to see I've got to see if the bread is stale. I hope that bread pudding is good. I haven't had it or made it in years. And I mean like years since I was a kid. And I'm like 43. I think I'm 43. I might be 44. I don't even remember. Once I hit 40, I stopped counting. Like, what's the point in counting anymore? I love you. Thank you so much for joining me here in Fury World. If you're interested in more videos about spirituality, mental health, or single parenting, check out my playlist. If you'd like to check out my music, it's available on all music streaming platforms worldwide under my artist name, The Fury of Abyss. Check out Project Fury on Etsy for unique gifts and apparel, and I will catch you in the next episode. Peace. Subscribe if you'd like, hit the like if you like me.